All right, here we go. Ready or not. What's the difference between a pencil and an argumentative colleague?
I don't know.
A pencil usually has a point. Right.
Wow.
This is welcome to the Underground Sound, episode number 46. With me, as always, is Carlos Fandango and an absentee Smartmunkee today. So together we are putting the us back into music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we will find the music that you love to hear.
And don't forget to click on that little bell icon on YouTube so you subscribe to the channel and get all the uploads from Tom, of course, when he uploads any new Underground Sound videos. He said DVDs. Goodness knows where my brain is. I've been off work for a week, so my brain's all sort of kind of in holiday mode.
No, it's okay. You've been off work, but you've definitely been making a lot of headway with the radio station. By the time the show airs, the radio station will be up and running. So please do visit the website, usundergroundsound.com. Find that radio link, and there will be minimal content there, but there will be content. And hopefully, we couldn't do this evening, but hopefully we'll be able to meet and greet with a gentleman named Scott tomorrow, who was Carlos's co-host on the We Love Rock and Roll segment, which you can hear again on the radio station. So if that meet and greet and chat happens, it will take place right now. If it doesn't happen, just continue watching the show. And a big shout out and special thank you to our show sponsor, Nathan Bashir of Monsters Are Real. Thank you, Brother Nathan, once again for helping the show out. And all these contributions for you mean a lot, and they really do help tremendously in helping the show keep going. And so just once again, big shout out and thank you. And please do visit monstersarerealmusic.com and check out Nathan's body of work there. And do also visit the video description below for the links, not only to Nathan and monstersarerealmusic.com, but you will find my email there. You will find the links to our own Carlos Fandango and Smartmunkee, but most importantly to all of these fantastic indie musicians that we will be, I should say, reviewing today. So on to track number one, we were just talking about this before the show. We're not sure if this is Gracies Paris or Gracies Paris with a song called Fragile. Carlos Fandango, what do you think is going on here?
Well, my original thought was that it is like a different spelling of gracias, maybe like English people say gracias and that kind of thing. But it could be Gracies Paris, because there's also one of the song descriptions doesn't have an apostrophe, and so it could be Gracies Paris, no apostrophe. Anyway, Gracies Paris, let's call it that, is from Albany, New York, USA. Influences include all the Beatles, meaning Lennon, McCartney, and Harrison, minus Ringo Starr, the Queen, the Kinks, Bowie, Foo Fighters, Radiohead, Led Zeppelin, all the Alice in Chains, lots of sort of rock and classic rock and pop influences. This one says it's an 80s inspired, hook-based alt-rock power pop song about being in love with someone unstable. Well, maybe we've all done that at some point. So, but it's what have people said about it? So the North Rocks on slaps.com says uplifting alternative rock, love it. We've all loved someone who just couldn't get it together. Yeah. Loving these vocal harmonies, super professional sound. See what you think. What do you reckon?
I wonder if this is like unstable financially or unstable mentally. If it's unstable mentally, I've kind of like been there, done that. I'm going to say that this is a Gracies Paris. So Gracies Paris with a song called Fragile, also available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. Let's check it out.
So I beg and plead low. Guess that's why I gotta let her go. You always wanted something better than you allowed me to give. We never seem to make it through this. Baby, this ain't the way it is. Now I know. Said I know. Oh, I think it, baby. Don't toss my heart around. It's not yours to make. Don't throw the bomb around. What's better is not fake. You always wanted something better than you allowed me to give. We never seem to make it through this. Baby, this ain't the way it is. Now I know. Said I know. Don't toss my heart around. It's not yours to break. Don't throw the bomb around. What's better is not fake. Don't toss my heart around. It's not yours to break. Don't throw the bomb around. What's better is not fake.
And with that show opener right there, a Fragile, Carlos Fandango, what'd you think?
I think that was full of hooky, riffy, catchy, foot-tapping, head-nodding goodness. It was very much 80s. I mean, I was trying to sort of place what artist I would sort of, what it would allude to. And I mean, I know the Jay Giles band was a sort of pop rock sort of thing, and it wasn't quite that, but it wasn't a million miles away from that sort of sound. But there are definitely bands out there, and I'm thinking Huey Lewis, no, not quite, and it's. Yeah, but it is definitely sort of rooted in the 80s, and it feels like a 80s film soundtrack type of song. Something from maybe a Back to the Future type of film, that kind of thing, or one of those sort of backpack films or something like that. But really well produced. There's lots going on. There's a lot of togetherness in the whole thing as well. It's just sort of all. Lots, the bass is doing some nice little licks and things. The drums are doing well. Guitars are layered nicely. Good solo. Vocals are really solid, and I think it'd make a good live track as well. But I think that's a really good, strong show, and it's probably going to vie for a top 3 space, if not a shout out. I would say.
All right. It is okay. So first of all, it is definitely a rocking show opener, very high energy. And I was also having trouble placing like what artist I would compare it to, which is nice because it does mean that there's a bit of an original sound here. The movie that kept on popping into my head was a movie that John Cusack from the 80s. I believe it was the 80s. I'm pretty sure it was 80s. It was called Better Off Dead, where they were like on a mountain. They were having like the skiing competition, and he gets the girl. I could definitely see this song in a movie of that nature. So great job. Definitely rooted in the 80s. It's just once again too difficult to place who this kind of sounds like, who it would be comparable to, but no worries on that. If you have an original sound, you have an original sound. If it's just if you're out there, you're doing really well. And I think that the production quality on this one was pretty top notch. Love the guitar solo. Loved the guitar layers. The drums were on point. It seems like the timing was right. The automation sounded good. I think it's really, really very professionally done. It could be a live track too. I agree with Carl on that one. I do. I'm thinking myself here. I think I'd probably prefer to hear the recorded version than the live track, but I don't know. If I ever do hear the live track, then I'll make that decision. So great job. 2 thumbs up from me over here. So once again, folks, please do visit the video description below if you like that song. Find that song, throw it on your playlist, show some love. Let's get the word out on these artists here.
Funny enough, sometimes with live tracks, it's one of those things. If the song's really well produced, the studio version, then the live version can be a bit of a disappointment. However, something I was talking to Scott yesterday on the reference to the rock radio show, and I was talking about Iron Maiden and the fact that Phantom of the Opera is one of my favourite songs of theirs, but I much prefer the live version to the studio version. So sometimes, the live version can be so much better and just different. I mean, Bob Dylan's very well known for sort of doing different versions of his songs live. He rarely does a normal version of his songs live. One of those things.
Like I said, I'd have to listen to it live to know how much I appreciate it. But I know exactly what you're saying, because my very first live show ever was Metallica. And I had already listened to every single CD that they had released up until that point. And then when they started playing, I was just kind of like, well, this doesn't sound like the album whatsoever. So I was very at the time very unfamiliar with how different everything is going to sound live. But it really depends on the band, doesn't it? Because it's if they put on a great show, then it's going to be all that much better. And it was super fun seeing my favorite band at the time. Then I was 14 years old, so it was super fun seeing my favorite band perform live in either case. So, but yeah, definitely sounded a bit different here. So, up to track number 2 here, LVNAR. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a clever play on lunar, maybe.
I think it's lunar, but that's the original Roman U. Hence, when you get W, it's a double V, which is U, W, but it's a Roman U. It's a W. Why it's called W?
Gotcha.
It's a double V, so it's a W. So music for this says Luna. We don't know where they're from, but it says music for healing, storytelling, and atmosphere. Well, that sounds pretty good. Influences include Kalandra, Wadruna, Hailung, Sirena, Skald, Celtic Woman, and Aurora. So none of which I've heard of, but I'm assuming they're sort of for the new age sort of ethnicity in the new age bracket. This is the first ever release from Luna, and people have said so far on Slaps, I've got a feeling you're going places for real. Lovely ethereal vocals, beautiful, nice, and this is awesome. I love your intentions behind it. I agree, it's very nice. So see what you think. This is our usual slot. The number 2 song is usually the sort of after the roistering rock song or big show opener. We have a nice little calm ballad. So let's see what you think of this one.
All right. So maybe this one can go on the chill pill. This is my first time hearing it. We'll debate on that. So I'm going to agree with Carl here, saying that this is Lunar with "Breathe in the River," or breath. Breathe. Yeah, I totally forgot about the E there. So,
that's all right.
Breathe in the River, also available on Spotify. Let's check it out.
Let these cool waters drown out those voices.
in the River by LVNAR. Man, if this is going to be anything like episode 46, episode 45. Episode 45 was really, really difficult to choose the top 3 over here. It seems like it's going that way at the moment as well. Carlos Fandango.
Yeah, I think this is part and parcel of going to the 12-track format temporarily, is that we've got the extra 2 tracks coming in here tonight, which just makes it all the more difficult to choose. It's hard enough to choose from 10 tracks, because the Purple Bowl threw in a couple of, one particularly good one last week. So it's all very difficult. And yeah, I mean, this one's, this one sort of starts out as one of those, when you go in those shops where you've got incense and those sort of hippie shops with all the sort of stones, different coloured stones and things, and those kind of vibes. And it feels like one of those kind of CDs that's putting on the background, whale music and stuff or whatever. But then it suddenly diverges. The vocals come in. She's got a lovely vocal and lovely voice, rather, I should say. And the vocal layers come in, nice harmonies. It's a bit different, and it sounds like something from a dark drama or something, some Netflix drama. It's in the background of a sort of scene or something, or the end credits or something. So it's kind of good commercial use, I think. But there's a gradual, steady build, but it's creating a mood. It's understated. It's just creating a lovely mood. The closest thing I can think of, one would be quite obvious, Enya, I suppose, but more likely I would say is Clannad, with that sort of mood type of music, but also new age, a slightly folky sort of feel to it. But yeah, really quite an understated but really good track that I think probably grows on you the more you hear it. One of those ones.
Agreed. So I loved the intro with the steel drums, and one thing that I was having a problem with towards the middle of it was it felt like there wasn't too much progression with it, right? But then we get to that 1 minute 55 mark, and that kind of like that sub bass kind of like started coming in, maybe a cello perhaps recorded very softly in the distance, but in either case it really started to build and make a point. I was thinking that her voice reminds me a bit more of Sarah McLachlan, but I could definitely see Enya in this as well. Fantastic voice. Very beautiful, very beautifully sung, very beautifully delivered. Right now, so far, I mean, I got 2 pluses for the top 3. We've only heard 2 songs, and once again, it's just going to be a difficult choice. But yeah, the way that this flowed was very ethereal, and it was just haunting, mesmerizing, whatever kind of word you want to use as far as that sense goes. This is maybe not commercially viable for the radio, although our radio station, yes, as I mentioned before, since the way that you were describing it, I thought it might end up on the Chill Pill. I definitely think that this will end up on the Chill Pill segment on our radio station. So, but as far as commercial radio, I don't think that there's much of a place for it. But there's so many places in so many different films for this type of music, whether it be a dramedy or a rom-com or whatever the case may be. This could definitely fit into a lot of spots in films and in TV shows. I've been recently, as I've been falling asleep, I've been on a House MD binge. So there's usually a part of that show where there's a lot of thought process going on, and like we can't figure this out, what's going on here, and so this song playing in the background would be fantastic. And the only thing that I could compare it to, because I was thinking of House, obviously, was that it would be kind of akin to Massive Attack. Because Massive Attack does definitely have these kind of like ethereal, slow songs as well. So nicely done. Great job with this. Fantastic.
Yeah, and for a first release as well, that's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Impressive. So I agree with that comment saying, you got you're a star, or you got lots of promise there, and I think carry on doing what you're doing, Luna, because doing something pretty good there and pretty special and pretty different. So keep going with that. There is definitely a market for it. We know how big Enya became and how popular that was for some time. So, you know, there's a space in the market for nice, calming, relaxing music. And yes, we will surely put it onto the Big Chill Pill show. So yeah, why not indeed?
Absolutely. We can make comparisons. Enya, Enigma, you know, lots of comparisons here, just because you could definitely, this definitely has, at least her voice definitely has this kind of like 90s kind of like vibe to it, right? So welcome to the Big Chill Pill with this song here. So please, folks, do visit the video description below, check out the song, make it your own, show some love to this fantastic artist, and do visit usundergroundsound.com. Go check out our radio station, which I'm sure by now is very much up and running, playing limited stuff happening there, but you will be able to listen and get a good idea of where the radio station will progress from there. So we reach our first installment of the Purple Bowl of Destiny.
Indeed we do. So here it is. For any of you that have subscribed recently and don't know what this is basically, this is something of great significance. This is the Purple Bowl of Destiny. And it contains all these categories of genres of music that we find on slaps.com. We choose a category at random and play the latest song that's been uploaded to Slaps. So hot off the press, the latest, freshest, newest song. And Purple Bowl has this habit of occasionally finding some not so good ones, but mostly it finds some pretty good music. So let's see if it will do its stuff on Nam Shivaya, Nam Shivaya. And you call it, Tom, and we'll category.
I'm the only one here to call it, so go ahead.
Rob, you call it.
Rob. And stop.
All right, what's this? Oh, this is a... Oh, okay. Now, this is a category that doesn't get stuff uploaded too frequently, but reasonably frequently. So synth and synth pop. I'm just going to focus. Doesn't focus at close range these days. So, audience, if you've just subscribed, you'll also... Well, you'd have subscribed because we tell bad jokes. So that'd be one of the reasons, surely, if you're watching it. But I'll give you a few jokes. I don't expect laughter because Tom's concentrating on finding out about the next uploaded song and reading up on it. So normally Rob's there to groan at my jokes. So who invented fire? Some bright spark. Why? That's the standard. Why do bakers work so hard? Because they need the dough. Why do birds fly south in the winter? Because it's too far to walk. What do you do when your nose goes on strike? Pick it. What happened to the robber who stole a calendar? He got 12 months. I think we did that one before. Why couldn't the... Oh, no, sorry. Did you hear about the archaeologist who couldn't get promoted? His career was in ruins.
It's just... Oh boy, Rob, we need you back.
His jokes are no better, I'm sure.
So it's kind of weird.
It is weird, isn't it? Because normally he's there sort of commenting on the jokes and groaning and yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm talking more about the Purple Bowl of Destiny choice here. Oh, okay. So since didn't have the space between. God. So that one's 499 members. Synth has 28 members, but when you click on it, it says that it's an empty group, and this doesn't have any tracks uploaded where the synth is concerned. So that would be synth wave, psychedelic, retro synth wave, 80s synth wave, 80s synth new wave, I should say, and then synth pop. So synth pop will go on to this one.
Yeah, synth pop. I like synth pop. My brother and I, big fans of synth pop, love all the old classics. Depeche Mode, well, like you, Depeche Mode, and there's so many out there. I mean, Ultravox, Erasure, Pet Shop Boys, OMD. Oh, just the list goes on and on. Human League, love it.
Yeah.
So if we can find it.
That's the big thing with the radio station is I love the way that it's turning out. The whole thing is that as I'm formatting my segments in my shows is I'm finding it really, really difficult, because as soon as I start, when I'm going through my music playlist on the hard drive, and I'm like thinking like, okay, this one, and then I see the next one, and I'm just like, well, maybe I should have done that one for it. It's just, especially with this type of music here, the synth pop, because there's so much good stuff out there.
There is, and my brother's sort of been keeping up to speed with the mainstream synth pop, and he still follows a lot of the old artists. People like Erasure, and Pet Shop Boys are still making tracks and stuff. OMD is still making music, and good music still. So what we've done, my brother and I went through, and he chose some mainstream classics and things with me, and I chose some independent artists synth pop. What we've done is actually, I've not recorded the show yet, but I've got the tracks teed up already, and the show's going to be called Synth Yesterday, because it's got a bit of a retro synth vibe. So Synth Yesterday, because of Strawberry Switchblade, there was a song by Strawberry Switchblade called Since Yesterday. So I just thought, well, let's go Synth Yesterday.
All right.
And that'd be the name of that show. Got the big chill pill. Got the country one as well to record yet, which is country folk. So country and folk music for country folk.
There are a few very cool things going on so far. It's the retro show with Carlos Fandango. Then we have the We Love Rock and Roll. What's Scott's last name? Gasson?
Gasson. Yeah.
Gasson. Scott Gasson and Carlos Fandango co-hosted that one together, which is the We Love Rock and Roll. And then we also have Munkee Beats, and I so far have Text Tracks. That's going to be my one thing, which is a mixture of my old DJ set. So it's kind of like classical, well, quote unquote classic. I'm just making myself out to be way older here, but the classic kind of like techno and trance and rave stuff mixed in with the artists that we have had on the show here, like Rem, Yves, so on and so forth. And it turned out really, really well. So I really can't wait to share that with you all. But let's get back over here. So I do believe that Brandon Kapoor is the name here, but the act name looks like it may be Bvlcony, is what I'm thinking, because it has an upside down V. So it's Bvlcony. So I'm assuming that that's going to be Bvlcony from Greenwich, New York, in the USA. This song was just posted 2 hours ago. It is the newest song in the synth pop category, presenting screen now. So joined February 2nd of 2019. And see, that's what I'm saying. It kind of looks like it might be Bvlcony.
I think so, yeah. Bvlcony. Yeah.
One thing that I'm really liking here is this album artwork.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, I like that.
It's very clever. It does look like a picture of a balcony, possibly with some type of thermal imaging ghosts kind of dancing around a little bit. And either way, I think pretty clever here. So it is the newest song posted. I will go back to this spot over here. Cross My Mind, Hope to Die, available, to which the annotation says, breakups suck, they haunt you like a spooky ghost. Hey, maybe I was right. Maybe I was right about the artwork, huh?
Yeah.
There we go. So posted not but 2 hours ago. Brandon Kapoor with Bvlcony, Cross My Mind, Hope to Die. Let's check it out.
Well, I gotta hope that I'm okay. Live through another promise that you break. Even when all the skies are gray, I can hear every syllable you'd say. Still got your pictures on my wall. See, that shit helps when you don't call. I can't think straight, not at all. Not at all, not at all. I wanna get the fuck up this time. I'm getting sick of every time I gotta walk this line. Not once, not twice. Never been a day you don't cross my mind. Just another night spent at home. No one but me and your ghost. Dancing alone to the beat of your love. Starting to never been one to mess with fate, but this heartbreak's a little too much to take. And I guess you're not a part of my life, but there's never been a day you don't cross my mind. Having a tough time now these days, watching the leaves fall on a grave. Usually fine when night turns to day, but not today, not today, no. How can I find my way to you when every text that's sent between us is blue? I won't give up, no, I refuse. It's just too much that we've been through now. I gotta get the fuck up this time. I'm never gonna be the one to walk your line. When you cross my mind, it's nothing like the feeling when you just know the nights spent at home, no one but me and your ghost, dancing alone to the beat of your love. Starting to never been one to mess with fate, but this heartbreak's a little too much to take, and I guess you're not a part of my life, but there's never been a day you don't cross my mind. Another night spent at home, no one but me and your ghost, dancing alone to the beat of your love. Starting to never been one to mess with fate, but this heartbreak's a little too much to take, and I guess you're not a part of my life, but there's never been a day you don't cross my mind.
All right. Again, under the assumption that the act name is Bvlcony, cross my mind, hope to die. Carlos Fandango.
Yeah, I mean, I see it's listed as pop and synth pop, and I think it was, yeah, probably more pop, although synth pop's definitely the sort of secondary category there. But yeah, very modern, contemporary, and sort of radio-friendly modern style of song, really. I mean, it's I don't know if it was just coming through loud. I saw the waveform looked big and loud. It felt like a very sort of loud, in-your-face style of production, which is the modern way, but it was perhaps could be tempered a little bit, because it sounded to me, yeah, the bass wasn't coming through heavily, but I think I know it was probably a quite heavy bass, and the vocals were very in your face. But that might be the way it just came through. So I'll need to listen to it separately anyway on the speakers. But you know, it's like a very modern song in terms of, you know, the F-bombs dropped a couple of times, and it's just so easy and casual to swear now, and it just seems to be okay, the okay thing now. But obviously that would be bleeped out on radio versions, I'm guessing. But I think there's a lot of promise there, and it's a pretty good choice from the bowl overall. I mean, it's certainly, you know, certainly not one of the worst ones we've had, and it's a pretty cool song, actually. I think, you know, well, in terms of being a radio-friendly, commercial, contemporary, modern style of song, it ticks the boxes on those fronts. It's got a bit of ebb and flow, and I think there'll be there's market for it, and he's got a lot of promise and potential there.
I agree. It's definitely, you know, a popular song. I'm going to say a popular song for today's day and age. Honestly, I can see this being played on the radio. It's a very strong possibility, but with the kind of right tweaking, right? This sounds like maybe it's a solo act trying to produce by himself as well, and I think that with a professional touch, getting the bass and the automation, and, you know, just basically getting everything kind of just right where it's supposed to be, could definitely work out to be maybe like an NSYNC kind of track, you know, Backstreet Boys type-esque kind of like pop song going here. I was very surprised when the guitar came in, I'll tell you that much. I wasn't really expecting an instrument to pop in, other than kind of like you know, with the modern pop songs, they usually tend to have the virtual instruments rather than kind of like a real instrument pop in. So the guitar was a nice little surprise. But I'm going to say that there's definitely a kind of like pop cultivated look to this gentleman here. Once again, artwork, it was fantastic. I think that with a little bit of tweaking and some professional advice, then, you know, this could go places. It's not the worst thing that we've heard from the Purple Bowl. There have been some pretty bad ones that we have heard, but yes. I don't know. I think I've only Simon Cowelled the Purple Bowl maybe like 3 or 4 times, possibly.
Perhaps so, which isn't a lot really, considering they are completely random choices. I mean, and I have to, when you look at, you go through slaps, and I have to scour, a good 50 songs to find one that might be show worthy. And suddenly they might be like number 9 buses, 2 or 3 come along at one go, but it does take a while to find them. So we're very lucky with what the Purple Bowl chooses, the latest uploads, because they're very often some of the better songs that are on there. So because there's a lot of music on there that you have to trawl through to get ones that are kind of worthy of the show, worth hearing, because they're that little bit different, better, or whatever it might be, interesting. I mean, this one, apart from being a very loud, in your face sound, had everything it needed to have really to make it a, if someone like The Weeknd was recording this, top level production and all that kind of thing, it'd be played on the airwaves. So this guy's got definite potential, and and I think he's got the the look, as you say, the look about him. So he's definitely got a very clean, crisp, kind of look about him. So yeah, he's got lots of promise.
Well, like I said, just to kind of give a little bit of clarity here when we're talking about the look. So here's Brandon, definitely very stylish hair, stylish beard, looks like a well-groomed, very presentable gentleman. And
so he's not too different. So you see the profile and the beard and that, all the hair and everything. It's very similar.
Sure is. Very similar.
Not kind of similar way at all. Yeah. Okay.
So, what's the difference between in-laws and outlaws?
Don't know. What is the difference between in-laws and outlaws?
Outlaws are wanted. Moving on to our regularly scheduled track number 4. I'm going to try to throw a joke in here because we're losing a lot of humor here with Smartmunkee being out pretending to be the Bee Gees today. So,
oh, I see.
Oh no, well, I mean that's what you had written, but he's I guess he said he had tickets which he had forgotten about to a Bee Gees tribute act. So Rob, the Smartmunkee, we hope that you are having fun. But as you could tell, the comedy is a bit dying down on this show here. So we'll be telling jokes throughout the tracks here. Well, not throughout the tracks, but kind of like going in and out of it. Whatever. So this is Taurwen. Reign of
I think it's Taurwen is the act, and it's Oguzhan Durakan is from Turkey, is the musician and composer behind the act Taurwen. So Taurwen influences. There's quite a lot of influences there, but not many I've heard of. But Dark Throne Emperor, Nagaroth, Isengard, that's from Lord of the Rings. So these are all are these bands or influences from Lord of the Rings? Anyway, well, basically this says here, Reign of Death is Prophecy, is the title of the song. It says, nothing retains its original form but nature. The goddess of all renewal keeps altering one shape into another. Nothing at all in the world can perish. You have to believe me. Things merely vary and change their appearance. And it continues. But so people, I quite like this one because this is our instrumental sort of track slot of the show, track 4. Some people have said it's deep, very earthy and meditative, said Luna, who we had earlier. Really good song, really cool mood. The deader you are, the cooler you are. Somebody said.
Well,
interesting comment. And Uncharted Course, who we've had on the show before, said freaking awesome.
Well, freaking awesome. We'll hear it right now and see if it is freaking awesome. So Taurwen, Reign of Death is Prophecy, available on Spotify, and I think that's the Bandcamp logo, I should say. So let's check it out. It's listed as folk. So if it's an instrumental, it's a folky instrumental, I'm going to assume here. But once again, Reign of Death is Prophecy. Let's check it out. Well, very cool. Taurwen, the Reign of Death is Prophecy. I got a feeling that Carlos Fandango here is going to know who I was thinking about as the song was playing, but Carlos Fandango, take the comments away, sir.
Well, I don't know, because I was thinking it's well, I'll say my answer in a minute, but basically, yeah, it's all about the sound effects. It sets the scene with the atmosphere. It doesn't rush anything, and I really like that. It's sort of, you got the gulls, the boat, the water. It's like a sort of Sinbad film or something like that, or some sort of historical epic, about Alexander the Great or Genghis Khan, the Mongol Empire or something. It's just something really good about it. It's cinematic. Rob would have loved this one because visually it's a stunning track, but it's atmospheric. There's slow, steady build up, and then suddenly. So the scene's set, and then suddenly you get this sort of pulsing rhythm, very earthy and primal with all the instruments and the rhythm. It's like, I've written down, it's like a sort of pagan sacrificial bacchanalian ritual or something. It's just got that sort of earthiness, but it's hypnotic as well. It's got such a hypnotic way about it that draws you in. You just sort of, it's almost like in the same way that where funk focuses on the one and the rhythm and and you sort of get into the groove of it. It's a really groovy sort of song. It's almost like so you've gone down into the Temple of Doom with Indiana Jones. There's sort of like this sacrificial thing going on. When Indiana Jones films were good, and basically, I really like that one. I've forgotten how good that one was, and when you consider it's 4 minutes 50, but it kind of flies by as far as I'm concerned. It just feels like about 3 minutes to me. So really good. I think Rob would have liked this one. So I'm wondering whether he'd put that in his top 3. We'll have to guess that later. But who you were thinking of? Well, given that it's like a sacrificial pagan ritual, bacchanalian sort of thing. I dread to think who you're thinking of.
Really?
No, I can't think.
I thought.
What you mean as a composer?
Yeah.
Would that be Hans Zimmer?
No. I'm not talking about Hans Zimmer. I do like Hans Zimmer yes, very much so. But I was really thinking, because I think that this would be up Justine's alley for sure. Justine Painter of Wayward Waves is who I was thinking about here. So it sounded kind of like a Wayward Waves song.
She would like this.
Yeah, I love the world instrumentals, or the word world instruments, I should say, not the instrumentals, but the word world instruments definitely has a kind of like a Middle Eastern feel to it. Were my comments here. So yeah, but the whole thing is, I was thinking that if we sent this over to Justine to kind of like listen to, I'm pretty sure that she would fall in love with this, because this definitely is one of those songs where definitely kind of like sit, chill, and visualize. And I wrote down on the notes here to add this song as well to the Big Chill Pill for our underground sound radio station too. So wow, it's just like I gotta say, we're really going through songs here that are nice and just really well composed. And again, I do think that the top 3 is going to be very difficult. So far, 2 additions to the radio station here for, once again, mentioned the Big Chill Pill, and I got to say that so far the artwork for this week, I got to say, has been like super top notch. Sometimes it's kind of like hit and miss on the artwork. A lot of people do artwork, but sometimes it's a little bit generic. I mean, there's not everybody has that little bit of like that artistic touch, but this artwork definitely kind of like seems like it fits, because it is very much kind of like Lord of the Rings, isn't it? It is very much kind of like a Hobbit type of kind of like of a theme that could go into any of those movies just absolutely perfectly and beautifully. So yeah. I mean, I really have no beef with the production quality here. The production sounded great. The instruments sounded great. Everything sounded great. The timing of it, the commercial viability for it, obviously, once again, movies, TV shows, works very well. So good job. Nicely done.
Goodly done. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that one. I just think that's pretty stunning, actually. The more I hear it, and I'm thinking, well, Well, another contender for my top 3 now. So thank you, Taurwen. You've made it all the more difficult now with your great song.
Exactly. So, I mean, we're 4 songs into the show, about to be on the 5th song here, and already a very difficult time choosing the top 3 because, again, fantastic music. So this brings us to I've got a joke just before we go on to the next track, which will be track 5 in our new format. Patient says, Doctor, I keep thinking I'm a Welsh pop singer. The doctor says, you've got Tom Jones syndrome. And the patient says, is that rare? And the doctor says, well, it's not unusual. It's not unusual. What's the difference between? I told you that I told you earlier, Carl, that these jokes get a little risque. So, what's
that's good
between a lawyer and a hooker?
No, go on. I can guess something, but I don't think it'd be funny.
How much you have to pay to get screwed?
Oh, yeah. Lawyers generally cost more, I suppose. What do you call a wizard who kills flies? Harry Swatter.
Harry Swatter.
God, that's terrible. So we've our next track 5, by the way. We've got somebody who's been on the show before.
Absolutely, Mustapha.
And Mustapha's actually got a new album out. This is actually the titular song of the album. So it's called Backseat, meaning same title as the album. It's Backseat Poet is the album that's out now. So where Mustapha's crossed guns with a blue background has been the ones that we're familiar with. The actual album, look out for it on Slaps and on your mainstream platform, whichever you use. And it's red background with the crossed guns. And do you know, he's just doing some really interesting stuff. He always puts a quote on as well. And this one was Richard Wagner saying, imagination creates reality. A lot of people have commented on this. He's had loads of saves on this, loads of fire, loads of plays. One says great groove, dope. Another one says dope. One says sick. And nice, bro. So it sounds like an Ultra Kill song. I am obsessed. You tell me, do you know what an Ultra Kill song is? I don't know. What's an Ultra Kill song?
I'm assuming Ultra Kill has to be a band. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to go.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Got to be in it.
I'd have to go through my musical library in my mind here, or on the hard drive to find Ultra Kill, or maybe I'll have to Google them. I don't know because
I can do that.
Yeah, Ultra Kill. I don't think I've heard of before, but so this is Mustapha's really. I mean, for a song that's been posted 13 days ago. 235 plays, 10 saves, 281 fires so far. It's like, wow. Like, those stats are very, very impressive, with 94 comments to back this as well. So Mustapha with Backseat Poet, available on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. I'm pretty sure everywhere else. So let's check it out.
He's a Backseat Poet, and you all know it.
Okay.
She told me not to flee. I like the way you're moving in the sunshine, always with the focus of ease. Now take a little time, I'll try to stay in line. I'll show you that I'm standing on the wayside, going out the wave type mind. I'd like to show you what your role is in this fantasy. Let's not go faking while we're taking identity. I'd like to show you what your role is in this fantasy. Let's not go faking while we're taking off identity. She coming round the corner on the west side. She told me not to flee. I like the way you're moving in the sunshine, always with the focus of ease. Now take a little time, I'll try to stay in line.
All right, Backseat Poet with, I'm just going to say that backwards. It's actually Backseat Poet by Mustapha, Carlos Fandango.
Right. Well, I think this is one of those ones that I think Rob would probably put in his top 3. And I like Mustapha's stuff. It's unusual, it's different. Don't like every one of his tracks, but when it does, when it's one I do like, I really like it. And this one's got such a good, cool groove about it, driven by the bass mainly. So it's a sort of catchy, funky, grungy, reggae tinged groove, and lots of interesting sonic detail, always all a little bit off the wall in a sort of Zappa-esque, Frank Zappa sort of approach to the music, being a bit odd and just having little changes of direction all of a sudden. So it's always you're always going on a journey in a sort of very confined little estate, like a very concrete little estate you're going through, and you sort of go through these little alleyways, dark alleyways very often. Then you take a left turn, and it's really interesting journey with Mustapha. It's incredible. But this would pass, I think this would pass the car test, which is, if you're stop still at traffic lights and you're blasting out your music and you're caught listening to some music, is it going to be cool or embarrassing? Well, this is going to be really cool. So this would definitely pass the car test. It's a more commercial track for Mustapha because he's not really the most commercial person with his music, and yet it draws so much attention on slaps.com. So I think the viability of Mustapha is, as a commercial artist and someone who could actually acquire a lot of listeners potentially is very high. So I think the potential is there for Mustapha, and he's made a very good album there with some really good standout tracks. One which we had before, of course. I think we've got one coming up in a few weeks' time as well. So, really good. Really, really good.
Hold on, give me a second here, because
Purdy's joining us. Come on, Purdy. Come on. Don't just meow at me. Come on. Come say hello. All right, let's see if I think she wants to be let out, actually. So wait till the break time. We'll let you out. There we are. Purdy's here again. Say hello.
Hi, Purdy.
See? That's Tom and the audience. Wave. No, she wants to get away. Oh, we're getting all tangled up here, Purdy. Oops. Sorry.
The push is back again. Again, sorry. Just kind of like a work thing came up all of a sudden.
Now, does the purr pick up on the microphone if I just hold her a bit closer? I don't know if it's going to pick up a purr, is it? Pick up a purring. She's purring loud, anyway.
I heard like 2 purrs. Purr.
Oh, okay. Ready? Off you go. Ready, steady, go. Okay. Well, I think I'll let her out in a minute when we get to our break, which is soonish anyway. So
soonish, very soon.
So, so I think with Mustapha, and again, there's so many comments as well, and people have said, nice track, dude, very catchy style, very cool song. Cool is a word that crops up, pretty cool groove, nice and chill, well, sort of kind of chill. I suppose in this day and age, it's a fiery solo, great, this is what we like, dope. So, lots of comments and lots of people saving it. So I think he's going to do okay. He's got lots of potential still as well.
I think he's going to do more than okay. Yeah, there's a lot going on right there. So rock, trance, electronic, pop, hip hop, funk. It's a little bit of everything. There's really a lot going on here, and you could really kind of like post this, maybe not so much hip hop and rap, right? But I mean, definitely like kind of like pop and funk. You could definitely throw that into those categories. Very, very well produced. Expected nothing less, honestly, from Mustapha than having a very well produced song here, as per the last one, and the great lyrics and great storytelling here. Definitely put the song together, and so I mean, we were talking about the artwork, and the artwork's a bit. We've seen the artwork before, so it's a bit generic with the 2 guns crossing themselves and everything like that. But I mean, this is part of the album, right? So it's not like it's horrible artwork and everything like that. But I mean, this song again, we've been having this, and where can we place this? Can we place this in movies? Yes. Can we place this in commercials? Absolutely. Can we just place this as kind of like a live track for somebody playing at some kind of tiki bar at a vacation kind of like spot, like Florida, the Caribbean, whatever the case may be? Because as you had mentioned, it does have a little bit of a reggae tinge to it, and so yeah, this could be performed live. This could be in the movies. This could be in commercials. So yeah, no doubt that Mustapha is definitely going places. And I think there's a bright future ahead. So I've saved that song. I have to listen to some of the other ones here. So it's going to be once again, folks, do visit the video description below if you like that song. Then hop on to your preferred platform, Spotify, YouTube, whatever, and go show some love to this artist. Not just this artist, but these artists that we are reviewing today. And very much appreciate you joining us today. So please do visit our website too, usundergroundsound.com. Check out the radio station and see what's going to be going on in the future where we are all concerned. And I see that Carl had just put his glasses on and broke out some cards. So looks like it's time for
ding 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 ding. Yes, indeed. Ding 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 ding. So now, Rob Smartmunkee is not with us tonight, so this will be a non-scoring round in terms of in the grand scheme of things. So you can't catch up in Rob's absence anyway. And but basically, so we'll just do it between you and the audience, shall we? And just for a bit of fun, just see if you can get. This might be the week where you just get it with no distractions, because you might have been put off by Rob choosing one last week, because I think you did, didn't you? Because it was your gut feeling to go for one, but you didn't because Rob had gone for it.
It was absolutely. Yeah.
So first word is pa. So P-A-H, pa, or pa, might be pa. A, is it a fortified Maori camp in New Zealand? B, a savoury cornflower pancake cooked in India? C, the post against which the ball is struck to end a game of croquet. So is a pa or pa a fortified Maori camp in New Zealand? B, a savoury cornflower pancake in India? Or C, the post against which the ball is struck to end the game or a game of croquet? What's your gut feeling on that one?
I think my gut feeling is well, I know that I do know that this is like a pulmonary disease, but I do think that as far as this game's concerned, I'm gonna say that this is the pancakes.
You're going pancakes. Sure. Audience, what are you going for? You're going for C. I wonder if Smartmunkee would have gone for A, because it was a fortified Maori camp in New Zealand.
It's horrible.
So nil point. Number 2, Unicity. 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 So is it A description of the exponential growth of cities in the world? Is it B, a medical theory which states that syphilis is caused by a single virus? Or C, the proposal that all life came from interplanetary dust? So is unicity? I think it'd be unicity then in that case.
I was just going to say, is it unicity or like is there?
Yeah, it's unicity. Because unicity would be like one city, but unicity. Okay, so is unicity a description of the exponential growth of cities in the world? B, a medical theory which states that syphilis is caused by a single virus? Blah. Or C, the proposal that all life came from interplanetary dust? What do you reckon on this one?
Well, I'm definitely striking A out of the way. So, just forget that one. So unicity, I think that for a medical term, there probably would be a little bit more behind it. So I'm going to go with C again. I'm going to go with the interplanetary dust. Unicity.
Okay, and audience, you'll go with Tom. C again. Wow. Well, it's actually B. It was a medical theory which states that syphilis is caused by a single virus. So can you get one right? Let's see if you get one. So Dabby. D-A-B-B-I. Sorry, Y. Is Dabby a fine chisel? B, a bugle call in the British Army signalling a change of watch, i.e. shift. C, damp and clinging, used to describe clothes that have got wet. So is Dabby a fine chisel? A. Or B, a bugle call in the British Army signalling a change of watch. Or C, damp and clinging, used to describe clothes that have got wet. What do you reckon, Dabby?
You see, again, I'm just going to ignore my gut feeling on this one. I'm going to get rid of C completely. Give me A and B again.
A is a fine chisel, Dabby, or B, a bugle call in the British Army signalling a change of watch, Dabby.
Damn.
No, Dabby.
No, it is. Yeah, let's go with B.
You're going B for a bugle call?
Oh, yeah.
Audience, you're going for A, a fine chisel. You changed your minds. You went for C every time last time, audience. Well, it's C, damp and clinging, used to describe clothes that have got wet. Nil point. Zilch. Nothing.
Well, I'm glad these don't
Diddly
count
spot.
towards my score. So
Yes, I'm sure you are. So Rob would have had a really good chance of winning tonight had he been here. Oh, but by the way, I've got you may have noticed I'm wearing a pin badge that's actually that's in ode of our missing Munkee, because it's the Cornwall flag.
really?
Kerno, it's Kernow is the I think the actual correct Cornwall name. I don't know if it's like Celtic or something, but it's Cornish. It's probably Cornish, but yeah, that's the Cornwall flag. There we go. Just for Rob because he's not here. And
Well,
it's
there you
from
go. So, well, hopefully he's having fun with the imitation BGs out there. So,
was it the BG? Oh, yeah, that's right. It was BGs and Elton John. He should have good fun then, shouldn't he? There's loads of good songs.
So he was mentioning that they're kind of like tribute bands, or like kind of like mock bands, cover bands, we call them. Yeah. So it should be a lot of fun. All right. Interim worship band with Send Down an Angel. What's going on here?
So, Interim worship band. The person who's uploaded this stuff is Joe, just a Joe, from Ventura, California, USA. Lifetime of commercial playing, recording, and church ministry. All right, retired from 40 years plus in the music industry operations, collaborator, engineer, and grandpa. So, influences are listed as David Crowder Band, Casting Crowns, Matt Mayer, Zach Williams, I like the Zach Williams, and Mercy Me. And this one was called Send Down an Angel, which he describes as a simple prayer. Now, I think I'm the only one who saved it, but I thought it was quite good. And it's our usual slot just before the break where we have a nice little country song. Somebody said, I love it. One person said, sounds awesome. And another person said, okay, man. I said, it was memorable sing-along chorus and positive sentiment and a few other things besides. But see what you think.
All right. Interim worship band with Send Down an Angel. Once again, annotation is a simple prayer, and it's listed as Christian and singer-songwriter. Check it out.
I don't know what I'm doing or how I wound up here. There were voices I heard calling, whose they were, I'm still not clear. Still not clear. I've always chased at something I felt was missing so long. Just needed to feel something, whether it was right or wrong. Right or wrong. Seen my share of sorrows, blessed with many joys. Lately I've been struggling with the peaceful and the noise. Send down an angel, one that will guide me through. Send down an angel, lead me by, lead me by. I've had rounds with many demons in battles lost and won. Seen claim the lives of friends on the streets where we once run. We once run. We're treading troubled waters, divided without cause. Please come into our lives, forgive us of our flaws, of our flaws. Thought we had all the answers, not sure what to say. Keep on hoping this prayer will help us find a way. Send down an angel, one that will guide us through. Send down an angel, leading us back to you. Send down an angel, one that will guide us through. Send down an angel, leading us back to you. Send down an angel, one that will guide us through. Send down an angel, leading us back. Oh, how we need you.
All right. Interim Worship Band with Send Down an Angel. That one is also available on Spotify and YouTube. A Simple Prayer. So, Carlos Fandango, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was very nice sentiment and positive sort of feel and vibe. A good solid production and solid song construction. Positive sort of Christian message and, a prayer for guidance in these dark, difficult, strange times we live in, as the old Chinese proverb or curse goes. But basically, I mean, the Christianity in this country is sort of died or dying on its arse, and I'm just glad that there are people out here with these sort of messages that are trying to keep things going, that have got that kind of positivity. A lot of people have sort of moved away from it in the Western world, but it's I think it's much needed and it's still popular. So I think keep doing it, keep singing. And stylistically, I think it sounds a bit like the band The Weight, Take a Load Off Fanny, and Leonard Skinner style of track, early 70s sort of vibe.
I'm sorry. Did you say Leonard Skinner?
It's Leonard Skinner is the way you pronounce it. If you look at their album title,
What? It's Leonard.
no, it's not. If you go to the album, go to the album, you search the album. This is Leonard Skinner or whatever it was. Or Welcome to. If you look it up, it says pronounced Leonard Skinner, but everybody calls it Leonard Skinner. But it's Leonard Skinner.
I believe you. I do believe you.
No, it's only because I used to say Leonard Skinner. Then when I first saw it, it said LEH Nerd Skinner, and I thought, oh well, that's been pronounced wrong all those years. But I think it's a sort of song that you could hear or imagine Guns N' Roses singing with a Slash solo, or Bon Jovi singing, that sort of country rock that they do quite well. So yeah, it's got a lot about it. I liked it. It's a solid song. Might not make it in my top 3, but that's not to say I don't like it, because it might go onto the country folk playlist for the radio show for all you. So all the folk and country music for all you country folk is going to be the tagline for that one.
For all you country folk, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, folk and country music for all you country folk.
I myself, I wrote down Tom Petty. Reminded me kind of like of a Tom Petty kind of vibe. However, I do see your point on the bands that you had mentioned there. So another person, obviously, that this reminded me of, because Gary Ford, which I do need to get to that band as well. But Gary Ford, even though he's a little bit more poppy, definitely is very much so into this kind of like Christian worship kind of stuff here. Very positive message. So this is my thing: is great voice. I love the message. As a matter of fact, here's the exact comment that I had left. It's a very nice production on this, and whoever is singing has a really fantastic voice. Love the positive message. Keep up the great work and keep on going. And you're absolutely right. We do need more words of encouragement as we're progressing through life these days. And while I may be, not the kind of like quintessential church-going guy where I'm going to be in church every Sunday, I have no problem with people that are religious or spreading this type of word, because every single religion is based on goodness and just being good to each other. And that's one thing that we really do need to focus on, is being good to your fellow man. So I have absolutely no problem with any music that gets that word out. So as you had mentioned, probably not going to make the top 3 here, but I do respect what they have going on as much as I do respect what Gary has going on, and as much as I do respect the bands that have this kind of stuff going on here, because we've heard some not just from Gary, not just from what was it, Interim worship band. So we've heard a lot of other Christian music as well.
Yeah, well, Gary's isn't so much Christian but more spiritual, but we've had a few of the those kind of sort of Bible Belt area country Christian music. And we had who was it we had? Oh, do you know, I heard her the other day. She's starting to, I've heard the production is starting to just improve and improve, and I've forgotten who it was now. It'll come to me. But yes, we have. The answer is yes, we have heard a few of these sort of songs. I like the positive messages in these. It's good.
Yes. Yeah. So my thing is once again, I'm a big fan of storytelling, and I'm a big fan of positive messages. We hear a lot of negative signs, but we also do see, as people, we do see a lot of negativity in the world. And this is some of the stuff that really kind of like boosts you up and makes you a little bit chipper. So you can't hate on this. And if you are hating on this, then you're just a miserable person yourself. Sorry for saying it, but it's
indeed
the truth, honestly. So yeah, too bad Smartmunkee's not here to lend a laugh in here and there, and just kind of like give his 2 cents. Although I'm sure he'd agree with us. It's our break time. So here's
well, this is the thing. Without Smartmunkee here, it seems to be going pretty fast.
Yeah. It is.
So whilst I think we're certainly going at a bit more of a pace this week. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll leave this one off as a joke. Are you familiar with football at all, Carl? American football, not football. Soccer.
Only a tiny bit.
Only a tiny bit. Do you know who the Detroit Lions are?
I kind of do now. Why is
Okay.
that? Well, only because you said the name.
for all of the American football fans here, I don't know if Carl's going to laugh at this or not, but this is funny from my perspective because I do know who the team is. So, what's the difference between a museum and the Detroit Lions trophy cabinet?
I don't know. What is the difference?
A museum is full of memorabilia from the past.
See, I get it because I can relate it to an equivalent team in the UK,
Which would be
football team. Oh, I don't know. I mean, that'd be quite a few of those sort of teams. But let's think. So, somebody with no success,
none whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
So throughout like the 100-year history, not one single trophy, not one single championship.
That's difficult to think of one that's got none. So they've really got nothing.
Oh, that's always like a gimme game. If you're playing against the Lions and you lose to the Lions, I mean, you're just a laughing stock at that point. So.
Oh, I see. So what's wrong with the Lions? So Detroit, what is the problem there then? Is it just that they just don't produce good footballers?
I mean, the bigger problem with it would be the fact that, everything's going to be based on coaching when you're really talking about any professional sport. And, if you can't pick, the right players and, you can't really get any kind of like organization going on. And maybe if the owner just doesn't want to spend the money to kind of like have this pro team succeed, then multiple factors are going on here. But I was really in shock when it made sense to me after I had heard it, but I was really in shock because I thought that American football players were some of the highest paid athletes in the world. And it turns out that it's absolutely not true. The highest paid athletes in the world are actually what we call soccer here. It's known as football, which makes a lot of sense. It's known as football throughout the rest of the world, just because you're kicking a ball with your foot. So football, those are the highest paid athletes in the world, and that's why they only have a championship once every 4 years, is because every country gets together and plays this. So it's just I remember when I was in Belgium visiting my uncle, and we went to a pro kind of like a football game. And he was telling me about one of the players who had the gold shoes. He was making like $174 million a year. And I was like, what?
Wow.
I was like, yeah. So these soccer athletes, these football athletes, they are the highest paid athletes in the world. But, I mean, they deserve it too. When you have a championship that goes on once every 4 years, and you literally have to play every country, then yeah, they do deserve that. So kudos. I'm going to say that. So we're going to start our break here. Should we just get a song at random going here for the break? Not like a mainstream song, or I'm trying to think. Because last week we had Aaron X Crux, which were my quote unquote nephews.
Well, didn't as Rob's not here, should we do one of his? I mean, didn't he release one recently? It was like a new mix, wasn't it? A new mix of a track.
We'll have to figure out what it is, but whatever it is, here's Smartmunkee with his new track. Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of the Underground Sound. I am DJ X-Tech. With me, we're missing a Munkee today, but with me, as always, is Carlos Fandango. Together, we are putting us back in the music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we will find the music that you love to hear.
And don't forget to click on the little bell icon on YouTube so you get all the latest Underground Sound videos as uploaded by our host, DJ X-Tech. And then you'll get all the latest wonderful independent artist music that we're playing for you on these shows. Please do check them out, show them the love, share the music, check out the music and follow them, etc., etc. And please do comment as well. We love it when you comment on the songs. Tell us your top 3.
Oh, absolutely. We do love interaction with our show here. And as Carlos had mentioned, please do visit the video description below and do find links to all of these fantastic indie musicians and do show some love. So we're going to move on to track 7 after our break here with Damian Roos, Every Time I Think of You. So what do we got going on here, Carl?
So Damian Roos is a solo artist from Cape Town in South Africa, and he's basically a solo artist, and he likes basically influences include Stevie Wonder, Dionne Warwick, I should say, Luther Vandross, Whitney Houston, Shawn Mendes, Patti LaBelle, and Alicia Keys. This particular song is called Every Time I Think of You. This is the debut single. Now, okay, it was only uploaded on Slaps within the last couple of months, but this was actually originally released in 2021, but it was a pretty good song, so it's worth hearing. 4 people have saved it on slaps.com so far. Some people have said, damn right thing, okay, this sounds good. Good voice, nice song, nice voice. Nice vocals, really dig it. Good vibrations, brother. So if you think it's good vibrations, brother, let us know. Put it in the comments. See what you think, Tom. Do you think it's good vibrations, brother?
Well, we definitely shall see. So right now, let's check out Damian Roos with Every Time I Think of You. Let's check it out.
Do you think of me the way I think of you? All I want is to be by your side day and night, and I just can't stop thinking about you. A feeling that has got me stuck on you. Oh, every time I think of you, the love I have for you just grows and grows. If only you would look my way and see that I'm the one you're waiting for. Just the touch of your hand locked in mine is the picture I see in my mind, and I just can't stop thinking about you. A feeling that has got me stuck on you. Oh, every time I think of you, the love I have for you just grows and grows. If only you would look my way and see that I'm the one you're waiting for. Do you have a minute? There's something you really need to know. I know this is crazy, but I really love you so. Every time I think of you, the love I have for you just grows and grows. If only you would look my way and see that I'm the one you're waiting for.
Every time I think
of you, the love it grows.
if only you would look my way and see that
If only you would only look my way. Every time I think of you, the love I have for you just grows and grows.
All right, Damian Roos. Every time I think of you, and Carl, what happens every time I think of you?
Well, I thought that was very sort of, well, let me say radio friendly, but radio friendly for the mid to late 80s. So it's sort of got that sort of slightly jazzy tinge that a lot of acts had in the 80s. Sort of a Johnny Hates Jazz vibe, that kind of sort of thing. Started off as a very sort of Spandau Ballet sort of vibe as well. But yeah, nice voice. There's a sort of vocoder pitch effect thing going on, I think, but quite nice. Yeah, it's all right. There's some nice subtle key changes in there. Yeah, really quite subtle key changes as well. Not obvious at all. I like that one. It's a pleasant song. I would say that it's pleasant. There'll be some people out there that like that. It's not one that you'd get on commercial radio necessarily, but it's a nice song. Might not make my top 3, but I liked this one. There's something charming about it, and a bit quaint and 80s. All right, nice job.
Nice job indeed. So the comment that I had left here was did remind me. I mean, it's typical kind of style of pop song here. Definitely 80s or 90s, as you've mentioned, Carl here. But I think more 90s than 80s. This has like kind of like a Daniel Bedingfield or a Jamiroquai sound to it for me as looking at my notes. I do think it's pretty good production. Not the best production in the world, but everything seemed to kind of like flow very smoothly. So I could possibly see this on one of those radio stations that play like let's say like the classic pop and the classic kind of like not like classic move. Oh my God! See, I start to dig a hole sometimes, and it's difficult to dig myself out of it. So, I keep on forgetting to put the dirt under my feet as I'm going up. So, but it definitely has that kind of like that 80s 90s feel to it, where possibly you would expect, like, let's say like maybe even Billy Ocean, if I'm going to travel that far back. It's definitely got a nice twinge to it. It's definitely kind of like maybe like even like Sade with like let's get down and let's get to our business, so kind of like a lover's kind of melody and everything like that. It's just, once again, I do think that it could benefit from a bit of kind of like post-production to just make it sound just that much better. And that would be my 2 cents on this whole song. So great job. Keep doing what you're doing. And remember, folks, if you did like that song, then please do visit the video description below and find these artists and do show some love. And so before we review our next song, I can tell you we have received a message, and it reads, "This is Neil Young, just saying hello and giving the show lots of peace and love."
Oh, wow. Neil Young? No way. Superstar. So he's writer of such classics as Keep Me Searching for a Heart of Gold, and I've Seen the Needle and the Damage Done, and Keep on Rocking in the Free World. Oh, brilliant stuff.
Yeah, the message continues. I listened to it in the kitchen while cooking various Chinese dishes, and it keeps me going on busy Saturday nights, I should say. He says I can make up to 150 Kung Pao chickens in one night.
Okay, strange thing to say, Neil Young.
Well, not really. That's from Neil Young. That's Young, Y-U-N-G, of Young's Kitchen Chinese Takeaway in Lower Manhattan, New York.
I see. Okay. Will we ever get an actual star with, like a real music artist?
Well, hope springs eternal. All the same, it's a nice message, and it's get to know people are listening, right? So what do you think, Rob?
Yeah, it's nice to get messages, although I take Carl's point and just think it would be pretty cool to get a more meaningful message, from a proper recognized music artist. Oh, it's still me. Okay, it's Ferrero. Hold on. Ferrero. Okay, so here's Ferrero. Well, you won't because you're shit and the show's shit. Oh, Ferrero, that's not a nice thing to say, is it? Oh, that's not very nice to say to Tom.
Hey, what's your fucking problem, Ferrero? You got beef with me?
Yeah, I got beef. The show's a pile of stinky poo, and you're sitting on top of it, looking all silly and smelly and pooey.
You don't look too good yourself. What happened to your green skin? You're white as a sheet. You look like you've seen a ghost.
Well, I have seen a ghost because I just watched you and Carlos die on the show without Rob. Gotcha. Mic drop. See ya. Fucking. Wow. Oops. I mean, wow, Ferrero. That was awful. Wow. How insulting to our Thomas, the host. That's awful. Well, folks, you see, Rob joined us just shortly there. Rob and Ferrero joined us in the show. Just managed to tune in for a few moments there, and nobody was in disguise at all there. Convincing as ever, but that script goes smoothly this time.
Yeah, I'm still crying because I can't believe Ferrero said that shit to me.
Yes, bad. Ferrero's got such an attitude problem.
What the hell, Ferrero?
Oh, unbelievable! Yeah, that was
such an ass frog or some shit like that.
I can't believe his mouth went all wonky in seconds. That was weird. Never seen Ferrero look like that before. Yeah, but it was his excuse was he'd gone white as a sheet because he'd seen a ghost, the ghost of us, because we've died on our asses tonight. Yeah, nice, Ferrero. Thank you.
Because
Rob wasn't here. That's what he's saying.
We've died and still digging our graves, honestly. Oh boy!
But that script was pretty slick, wasn't it? So we know the weak link is here, Rob.
Yeah. Rob is definitely expendable.
So there you go. See, I if that was a convincing Rob audience, please let us know. And whether we ditch the Rob or keep the Rob, it's up to you. I think we should keep him personally.
I think we should keep him too. So
you see, yeah.
give us a thumbs up to keep the Rob. Keep the Rob.
Keep the Rob. Keep the Munkee. And forever, more importantly, because the Munkee comes with a Ferrero frog toad thing.
Frog toad. Yeah, we always call him a frog toad thing, and so oh boy, kind of discombobulated. Like I usually do get discombobulated with the star messages. So Nyiko Mhlari with Mama.
So you may recall we had Nyiko Mhlari, and it's funny actually. We've had before. Free Slave was the song. That's quite a cool song. He's uploaded quite a few since then, but this is one of them. The most recent one called Mama. Nyiko Mhlari is funnily enough, we just had Damian Roos from South Africa, and Nyiko Mhlari is also from South Africa, and from Zanin, you may recall from last time. So, based in Limpopo, South Africa. Now with this one, it says, just says, hello friends, please do share my new song, or pleased to share my new song with you. Comments have included warm voice, fire, really cool vocal tone and nice harmonies, heartfelt lyrics, and good work. And one person said, so wholesome. Let's follow and subscribe to each other.
All right. Nyiko Mhlari with Mama, also available on Spotify. And so let's check it out.
Mama, you deserve the best for all the years of toiling. Yeah, you deserve the best. Mama, you deserve the best for all your years of toiling, You deserve the best for all your years of toiling. You deserve the best for all the years of toiling. You deserve the best.
All right, Nyiko Mhlari with Mama right there. Carlos Fandango. Like if I was going to
Which one are you going to go for?
let's go with Carlos. Carlos
Okay.
Fandango.
You want to go with me this time, yeah? Okay, so yeah, it's heartfelt, it's simple, it's personal, straightforward. Funny, I think it will connect with people because it's an honest song and track. You know, it's nothing I would say necessarily outstanding, but it's a nice song. It's a nice track again. So whilst it might not make my top three necessarily, there are elements of it I do like, and one of them is the whistle break. I love a good whistling song and stuff, and it's just good. I just like the way it sounds really, because his stuff just tends to be quite sort of honest, real, gritty kind of music. But the main takeaway from that for me was whenever he sings, whenever Damian Nyiko sings "Mama," I follow it up with "Just killed a man," and that's what I kept. That's all I could keep hearing. So that's the one thing I just sort of that puts me off it slightly, I suppose. But nice song, nice track.
Yeah, so that's what I wrote here. Is I really thought that this was going in a Queen direction, but then the deeper voice really pierced through, and I kind of like the. I like the church organ that's kind of like in the background there, like later on, and it really started to remind me of, we mentioned them on the show earlier today, which was Guns N' Roses with November Rain, and this definitely kind of has that kind of tinge to it, where you know, I mean, whether you're going to go in a Queen direction or a Guns N' Roses direction, you're not going, you know, anywhere bad because the production quality is there. I got to say, I heard a little bit of hissing, so a little bit of the production could probably be, you know, tweaked a little bit, you know. So it sounded like the volumes may have been a little higher. This kind of maybe sounded like a pre-mastered version of everything. And not to kind of like throw a negative comment out there, because it's not really negative, because here we're talking about a 2-minute song, just over 2 minutes. But the song did sound a bit repetitive. I'll have to listen to it again, but it sounded like the first verse was the same as the second verse, which it probably was not. Once again, I just have to listen to it again because obviously, once again, this is my first time hearing this stuff. So if you guys did like and enjoy that song, then please do visit the video description below. Find the links to this artist and show some love. And you seem kind of surprised, Carl.
Yeah, very much so. I quite like the old Ferrero eyes. I think these are quite cool. I actually like Ferrero lips. Actually, looks a bit weird, really. So, but I quite like the look.
You dropped something there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
oh, that's
fucking time.
I quite like those.
I like the fact that you have the name tag on too, Ferrero.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes, just to show that I am actually Ferrero. Yeah. But I quite like
I didn't notice it before because I had to put the script. Oh, I'm sorry, I had to put the message right here below the camera.
Oh, I see. No, the Ferrero tag was actually on the on Ferrero a minute ago. The white Ferrero, the whoever that was, the mystery person doing the Ferrero character.
The ghost of Ferrero.
But Al's here as well. So for the next Purple Bowl installment. I don't know what I was going to say. Installation. Yeah, I know it's a bit strange.
The installation of the.
Well, I nearly said insemination.
Oh,
yeah, I know. Sorry about that. Yeah,
true. I don't want to know what you're doing with the bowl on your personal time, right? So,
oh no, I dropped it. That's what I've done. I dropped it. Oh, they've all fallen out. Oh dear. Right. Okay, I'll get them back in again. What was clumsy?
What was funnier than actually falling was your cause for concern. You really looked like you were diving into the pool of a drowning toddler for a second. Sorry, second insemination of the Purple Bowl of Destiny.
Yeah, here we go. So how are we going to pick this? Because you've tried picking before. You've been successful before, Al, haven't you? You're going to have a go. You look like you're raring to go, aren't you? Yeah. Okay, so Al, so if I scoosh them around, I'll look away and you just dive in. Obviously, if I'm looking away, you're not going to miss, are you? No. Right, there we go. You're in. Yeah. Have you got one? Has he got one? Oh, it's on his head.
Okay.
Yeah, how did that happen? Oh, well. Okay, well, this is quite a cool category, I think. Oh, you stayed down there for a minute, Al. This is alt rock. It's alt rock.
Alt rock. Let's alt rock.
Yeah, it's all rock. And while rather than just jokes all night long, we have some universally challenged, which is the funny things that quiz contestants say. So these ones were sort of in the strange logic category. I think these were all the sort of family fortunes type of, or whatever, Family Feud, I think it's called in America. Name something easy to do forwards, but difficult to do backwards. Eating was the answer. Name something men do when they run out of clean underwear. Turn them inside out. Name something you buy in a larger size if you have a large family. Jeans. Names that they'll fit in the jeans together if you buy a large size. Name something you wish you had one of for each person in your home. A house. And name something you write on a holiday postcard. I'm going to send you a postcard home. Oh dear. Name a reason for kneeling. To be beheaded. And name a place where you might see a whole lot of shaking going on. The malted milk factory. That's a bizarre answer. Oh, wow. I think those were the American game show answers, those ones. Family Feud. Wow.
All right.
Do you ever wonder how you'd get on if you were under pressure in a quiz show or something?
Yeah.
And do you think you'd be good under pressure, or do you think you'd give those kind of answers?
No, I absolutely know that I'd be good.
Like, you're good on Call My Bluff, that kind of good.
Well, I mean,
The last 6 weeks.
Call My Bluff is really like, kind of like a really a game of chance.
Yeah, that was a low blow, actually. Yeah, sorry.
Let's keep the hands above the belt, right? So, but when I was in 3rd grade, something like that, I was on this school-wide kind of like broadcast, which was called Whiz Kids.
Oh, cool.
There were 3 contestants, kind of worked like a game show. So teachers would ask you a question, and it ranged from history to geography to mathematics to literature to English, things of that sort. And I came out there victorious. I was the champ. So
how many kids were you actually up against?
3. Like I said, it was 3 kids.
Oh, sorry, 3. You did say, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So there were 3 contestants, and I did pull first place. So it was like an hour-long kind of thing. And once again, questions, I should say, varied from multiple different categories. And I didn't really like I got nervous, but I kept I kept a cool head. I didn't really kind of like let the nerves affect me, because this was, mind you, 3rd grade. I was what? This was back 19. I think anytime we say 19 anything is gonna just whatever. It was 19 something, way before 1990. Okay, way before 1990, and so you had a camera pointed at your face. It was lighting. It was a very professional kind of like setup, and for a 3rd grader, it was kind of a thing, So it really was kind of nerve-wracking, but I did keep my cool, and I did actually bring the trophy to my teacher, and my teacher at the time, I forget her name. God, I can't remember her name for the life of me. That looks like a duck. So sorry.
I like that. It's good. The lips with the eyes on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the mouth lips. Yeah, that kind. Yeah, okay, that's good. So you basically had a bit of a track record of being successful at those kind of things. So
yes, I do think that I would be able to keep my cool. I've never really been the type of person to kind of like panic under pressure. I've panicked for different reasons, but I mean, it didn't really see like it. If I know that I'm going on a game show, then I know that I'm going on a game show. I know what's kind of expected, right? So it kind of like puts my mind at ease, just knowing what situation that I'm in. So knowing what situation that I'm in just kind of like, deflates the panic a little bit, So, I mean, I've had anxiety attacks before, driving, just all of a sudden, just something comes up and everything like that. It's just like I've had that kind of shit going. But I mean, yeah, but if I know what situation I'm in for certain, then it really doesn't bother me. I don't know. Just kind of like my thing.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. So generally keep your cool, get under a sort of stress situation.
Yeah.
Just occasional erectile dysfunction, and that aside, nothing at all.
Exactly. Exactly. So before we go on to this one, what is the difference between empathy and apathy?
Don't know what.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Hey, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, that was a clever one. This is another one that I like here. What's the difference between toilet paper and curtains?
Toilet paper and curtains. One you draw. No, go on.
So it was you.
Hey,
Hey, I'm super
I
scared.
like it. Yeah, I like that. It's good. Yeah, yeah.
They do get a little more risque. So our purple bowl of Destiny choice here is Kurayami. Shin'yū is looks like what the name of the song is here. Posted 5 hours ago. Kind of strange because this seems like either Chinese or I think it's Chinese. It looks Chinese writing, but it says they're from Spain.
Oh.
So we have categories here, which is metal, hip hop, rock, alternative rock, electronic. Doesn't say much about the influences though, but presenting screen now.
Okay. We'll have a look and see. See if you can you see that, Al? Yeah, good. Get closer, you can see it better. Don't wobble around so much. There you go. Keep focused. Kurayami.
Owl, very focused right there.
Yeah, very focused. Yeah, a good study and read. Can you read?
Kurayami Shin'yū says alternative rock and electronic for this particular song here. Comments include the one comment that I see here. Comment includes good song, good voice energy. What is good voice energy?
Well, I suppose you can have a good voice energy, really. So something like rock songs need a bit of voice energy. Well, all songs do, really, in a certain way. But okay, let's see what it's like. So it's a sort of. See, I like the I quite like the artwork there. That's curious. That would draw me in a little bit for a start because that's the sort of the Prince of Darkness. The there's an old film. I forgot what it is now. It'll come to mind at some point. There's a good old Japanese film, like a ghost story type thing, that's got that kind of mask.
Okay, well, there we go. So, this comment, good sound, good was left 4 seconds into the song, so there must have been something good going on there. So, Shin'yū is also available on Spotify. Let's check it out. You know what? That second song that was coming up started to sound good too. But in either case, so here we are with Kurayami, Shin'yū, Carlos Fandango, and Owl.
Oh yeah, Owl of Owl of. I'm not sure. He can't make up his mind. We gotta decide, you know. Dun dun dun. That's shrugging his shoulders, I think. Not sure. Al. Well, I thought it was quite good. Sort of like a electronic, EDM rock sort of thing. I couldn't quite work out, but I mean, the only thing I was thinking of was that I know that's similar was there's probably many, but I was thinking of 9 Inch Nails, whether it's that kind of thing, maybe. But yeah, it's unusual. I think I need to hear it directly here through the headphones or the speakers just to sort of gauge it before I comment on it too much. Didn't sound too bad to me, actually. I thought it was quite interesting. Obviously, you got your F-bomb in there a few times, but that's kind of the point of the song, I suppose. And there's a certain style of music that it kind of belongs in, and this was it, I suppose. I'm intrigued. I think I want to find out more, and I'll be curious to have a second listen to give it a proper hearing and an airing.
Well, I don't think that this one will make it onto the big chill pill. However, it may make it rock or grunge. Well, I don't think we're going to do like a separate grunge kind of thing. Rock or metal kind of like genre here that we have going on for our radio station. However, I got to say that this is reminding me very, very, very closely of 9 Inch Nails, especially when you're talking about the earlier albums like Pretty Hate Machine, things of that nature. Definitely very Marilyn Manson. Also,
yeah.
It definitely had that kind of vibe to it, where it was just the beautiful people, and I liked it. Got a plus mark from me. As far as I'm concerned. So the PPOD, otherwise known as the Purple Bowl of Destiny, has done some fantastic work in the recent weeks here, just really choosing songs. And believe me, folks, when I tell you that it is a song completely chosen at random. It very much is. Nothing is scripted here. Nothing is scripted here. We hop on, we have some beers, we listen to some music, we have some laugh. And we just get along great here. So if you did enjoy that song or any of the other songs from the show, then please do hop into the video description below. Find the links to these artists here and to myself, to Mr. Fandango, and to Mr. Munkee, who unfortunately is not with us today. Al doesn't have an email yet, does he?
No, Al doesn't have an email yet, do you? No. And did you want one? No, you don't really go online much, do you? So you don't really do much, do you? Really, you sleep a lot, don't you? Yeah. So
I think Al should have an email. I think Al will get some requests.
What about an email?
Email.
Oh dear. So you're gonna say goodbye? Say goodnight? Oh, that's a very, very respectful bow there, wasn't it?
Thank you too.
And he did very well playing Ferrero earlier. Oh, sorry, I mean Ferrero was good earlier.
Yeah, Ferrero was good earlier. Nobody played Ferrero. These are not reenactments.
Yeah,
that's accurate though. They're not reenactments. I thought that you messed up on this one.
Oh, DARCULA. Yes, I know. It looks.
I really did.
Yeah.
So.
But it is DARCULA.
Yes. Oh boy, let's see here. So
it's actually from LA, so Los Angeles, California, USA, electronic music producers. So I'm always dubious. I always think, oh, Tom and Robert love these ones, electronica and stuff. And then I think, oh yeah, but what about the electronica episode where I chose a load of electronica stuff and you were hypercritical? So but anyway, influences include Nicky Romero, Gareth Emery, Hardwell, are these made up? David Guetta, I know that one. Calvin Harris, I know that one. Medusa, John Summit, and many more. But this one is the latest track And it says, "This is my new track. It's a little different, but I hope you guys like it." And it's called Press Start. One person said, Yokai said, "Okay, nice. It's good, bro." EBG Record says, "This is good. Nice one." Somebody else says, "Very catchy." And I got another person, Skagen Music, said, "I got hooked from the beginning." So I wonder if you will.
Well, let's hope it's that good. So I'll just leave my joke until after the song and before the review, because like I was telling you before, these jokes get a little bit more risque the further down that they go. So let's just leave it for after the review, so that way we don't get we'll get people mad after the song, not before the song. So here we go with it. Press start. Let's check it out. Press Start by DARCULA. Carlos Fenega.
I'm intrigued to hear what you think about this one as well. So, but it gets straight into it gets straight down to business. Basically, there's no sort of sonic foreplay with this song. It just gets straight to business, and yeah, so it sort of builds up these two sort of sections. It's all lots of sections, but it uses the press start robot, voice box thing to the phrase press start to change anything as well in the song. And so the mid section, so you've got this early sections where there's one tune developing, and the mid section suddenly completely changes, goes to something completely different, piano based thing, completely random. Then the beat drops really nicely, and then by the end of the song, it's sort of kind of combined those elements that you heard in the first part of the song with that middle section, and it just develops quite nicely, really. Quite clever. There's something that draws you in to this from the start. It makes you sort of want to nod your head, tap your feet, and there's something really intriguing about this song. And I don't know, it's not like it's full of stuff going on, but it's that kind of less is more approach that I think is used, that it just sort of does enough to keep and hold your interest. I like it. I like this one. I don't know. It's sort of kind of, it's vying for that top 3 spot almost, because it's intriguing and there's something I like about it. It's not normally something I listen to particularly, but is it something I'd buy? Perhaps so. Yeah, perhaps I would. What do you reckon? What do you think?
Well, I definitely didn't think that this was your type of song here.
Not normally, no, not. But then it varies, because if there's enough going on, I mean, like a lot of Hot Chip stuff, and that's quite dancey and electronic and stuff, and there's interesting things going on, then I like it. And I've always been fascinated for some reason by that sort of all those kind of robotic digitized voices, like the Stephen Hawking thing. They always sound quite cool, really.
This is so this really sounds like a little bit of old school techno and a little bit of new school techno and everything like that, right? So the old school techno, what I could think about is one of my favorite groups as far as like techno trance is concerned, which is called the Mighty Dub Cats. Cats spelled with the K-A is the way that Mighty Dub Cats was actually spelled. And so one of the old ways that I used to start off my DJ set was with a song by them called Keep On Truckin', which was really cool. And so the same kind of melodies going on here. So we're talking about like way like early 90s, maybe late 80s even possibly, where that's concerned. So it has a little bit, not only does it have like this classic like techno vibe to it, but it also has maybe this kind of like classic synth vibe to it, but with this press start now, and it just kind of like makes it seem like I forget who the group was that did Mortal Kombat, which was finishing. Oh God, I'm gonna have to look that up now because it's just gonna drive me crazy if I don't. So let's go to Google. Oh hell, Google. Techno Mortal Kombat song, right? No, it's not none of these. It's not any of these. My goodness, how many times has this song actually been remade?
Well, this particular track?
No, the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Oh, probably loads.
Yeah, well, it's been remade a lot, and I just can't. I can't think of it right now. But it was always like finish him, and it had that kind of like robotic 16-bit voice to it and everything like that, like what you were talking about, like Stephen Hawking. So it's interesting, but the whole thing is that there really wasn't like a solid foundation to the song. It was just kind of like let me hop on the computer and let me kind of like see what I could do. So sitting around for a couple of hours, it seemed like this is what kind of like popped up, right? Because you had this Mighty Dub Cats kind of like influence and like this old school techno influence into it in the beginning. By the time it reached the halfway point, you almost jumped into Robert Miles with the piano and everything like that, right? And then you got back into like this kind of like techno and trance thing, which doesn't make the song bad. Don't get me with what I'm saying here. It's just that the lack of consistency for what the song is, there wasn't really kind of like when you listen to classical music, you know, you listen to Beethoven and Chopin and Bach and everything, right? There's a story being told, you know. So if you're listening to the Moonlight Sonata or For Elisa or whatever the case may be, right, then there's a story being told there. You know, there's a story being told with the notes, and you know, it's very profound in the way that it's written. And so for all intents and purposes here, is even though that this song was very enjoyable, I do have to think is what was the ultimate goal, what was the point to it, right? So when we're talking about our radio station, does this go into the techno category, or does this go into the chill pill category, right? So I can see this being on the chill pill, but then again,
it's too dance. I think electronic.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Is I think it's a little bit more upbeat than the chill pill. But when you do take that piano aspect into everything, that it kind of like makes it seem. So long story short, here we go, is it really doesn't have a definitive kind of like purpose. It's produced nicely and it flows nicely. The whole thing is that there's no concrete kind of like story from back to front. So if you listen once again to Moonlight Sonata, that one has a very definitive story from front to back, from beginning to end, I should say. And so that would be my beef with this song, is that it's good, it's enjoyable, I liked it, but I just don't see the bigger picture here.
Do you know, I had a friend years ago at work. It's my brother's friend because he's 3 years older than me, and in his year there was a guy called Peter Lincoln, he was known as Plink because of the P Lincoln, and it was a very scientisty type of, you know, he just IT, you know, he would program the spectrum and do all the sort of all that sort of stuff, but he would also make things. He was quite an inventor, so he actually made a voice robot thing, digitized voice thing, where you could press buttons and it would say different phrases. I mean, I wouldn't know where to start with that, but the one thing this reminded me of is that, because it had that kind of voice, and it's and I don't know, the phrase isn't particularly useful, but there was the phrase, there's a bus. So, but you know, it's kind of I don't know, it's that stayed with me. I could never remember any of the phrases this thing said apart from there's a bus. And this is what it reminded me of.
Yeah, it's kind of like I know exactly what you're talking about, because the whole thing is that if you're in a club, like if you're in your 20s and you're in a club and you hear the song come on, then this is the kind of like song that I would throw on as a DJ myself. Is I would throw it on as kind of like filler. Like if I were working the crowd and the crowd was, you know, they kept on. They were on the dance floor like on a consistent basis throughout my DJ set, right? So because believe me, there's a lot of times that it's happened where I would play like one song, and then, you know, the entire club was on the dance floor, and then as soon as I started with the other song, everybody was off the dance floor. So it just kind of seems like this song would have been kind of like quote unquote filler. So as I'm looking for a new song to kind of like pump up the club, then this is kind of like the song that I would throw on. Once again, no disrespect, because there's never any disrespect meant here at all. It's just the fact that, you know, I can't find a place in my mind or in the playlist right here where we can fit the song. Will it make it onto the radio? Absolutely, it will. I don't know if there's commercial viability to this song just because of the different kind of like mood changes and key changes and everything like that. But you know, once again, enjoyable, but just really kind of like ultimately, I gotta say, confusing. So that's where I'm gonna stick with that one. So that was DARCULA with Press Start. Once again, enjoyable, but just kind of like don't know where to go from here. I'm pretty sure Munkee would kind of like say the same thing.
I think so. Yeah, you probably have the same assessment. I'm guessing you're right there. So, so you had a joke for us that was a little bit racy.
Oh, not even a little raciest. Like I said, this These jokes just keep getting worse and worse as the list kind of like goes down here. So, what's the difference between California girls and Saudi Arabian girls?
There's got to be something about. No, go on.
California girl gets stoned before sex.
Hey. See, mine are a bit more innocent. What musical instrument goes best with cheese? The piccolo. Piccolo.
Could you give me a chance to at least?
Oh, I see. I thought
I was never going to come up with it, but
well, I was just going to do it like like comedians would, because they wouldn't expect the audience to answer. So I just perhaps I should. Right, okay. Right. What did the reluctant Australian musician play?
I don't know.
A didgeridoo.
Oh,
and did you hear about the man who bought a paper shop?
No.
It blew away.
Oh my god. What's the difference between snow and a cheerleader?
They snow.
The difference between snow and a cheerleader.
Don't know.
Snow is harder to plow.
Oh.
I told you they get a little bit racy. So,
That's good.
so what's your energy level, Carl? I know that it's what is it, 11?
I've only got 2 songs to go, so I'm not bad. Doing okay at the moment. I've still got a tiny bit of beer left. I've got another one downstairs if I want to, but I was only going to stick to.
Well, I'm gonna go. I was thinking that I was gonna go refill and have a cigarette for our last 2 songs here. So if that's cool with you, then I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I'll go get some Pepsi Max, I think.
All right. And for anyone that's listening to the Underground Sound, even though that this will be completely seamless to you, we're just going to hop out and do our thing right over here. So you maybe hit the pause button, the space.
We must do a pen swipe at this stage because we haven't done a pen swipe today, have we?
Oh, I don't care about the pen swipe anymore. Well, unless you want to do it. But
yes, please. Yes,
you
please.
can't see your pen.
I'll have to do it just there to there then, won't I?
Yeah.
Okay. Watch the pen, folks. Ready? There we go, Matrix style.
All right, the slow motion pinstripe. So so we're back from our break here. It's a little break. So our last 2 songs of the evening, and what's the difference between an Irish wedding and an Irish funeral?
I don't know. What's the difference between an Irish wedding and an Irish funeral?
There's one less drunk.
Oh yeah, because he did. Sorry, that took a while for the penny to drop there.
No, it's okay. Like I said,
Why will you never go hungry in the desert?
There's no food.
Kind of, because of all the sandwiches there.
All right. What's the difference between Michael Jackson and Richard Pryor?
Don't know.
Oh, one was burned out by Pepsi and the other with Coke.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Greg Baker Everett. I forgot my glasses. Tell us about Greg Baker Everett here, Carl.
Okay, so Greg Baker Everett is from Eagle River. I take that that's America somewhere, Eagle River. As far as I'm concerned, music is music, whether it's classical, show tunes, jazz, blues, or bluegrass. Write in all styles, so nothing I do fits in a box. Perfect, really good. Says influences include Tom Waits, B.B. King, Eric Clapton, Willie Nelson, James Brown, Booker T and the MGs, Sly and the Family Stones, Tower of Power, Billy Joel, Toto. Quite a nice mixture of influences. And this particular song is called Quicksand, which is an a cappella, it says here, a cappella in a classic doo-wop style from my Kaleido album, Numerous Tracks of My Voice. So now, I don't think we've actually had an a cappella track maybe on the show at all yet. I can't remember. Have we had one?
No, not that I can recall.
No.
Absolutely not.
So this is a show first. We're what, show 46 in, and it's a first a cappella song. So what have people said? Wow, just wow. Good job, love the harmonies. I love this. A cappella is so fun, and you did a fabulous job. Bravo. And it says AF, of course, but cute AF, bro.
Cute AF, bro. That's right. 50 plays, 3 saves, 32 fire on this one. Quicksand by the Greg Baker Everett. Let's check it out.
I was drowning in quicksand until I fell in love with you. I was sinking deeper and deeper, and there was nothing to hold on to. And I know that I'd be a long gone man if you weren't there to pull me through. 'Cause I was drowning in quicksand until I fell in love with you. Now through all my troubles and all of my toils, I never knew what happiness was. 'Cause I'd hang around with all kinds of girls, yeah, that's what loneliness does. And like a quicksand hole that grabbed on to my soul, I made the same mistakes, it's true. 'Cause I was drowning in quicksand until I fell in love with you. And I was drowning in quicksand until I fell in love with you. I was sinking deeper and deeper, and there was nothing to hold on to. And I know that I'd be a long gone man if you weren't there to pull me through. 'Cause I was drowning in quicksand until I fell in love with you. I was stuck in a hole. You threw me a line. I traveled many roads. Now you're the new paradigm. Well, now the years gone by, I can look up in the sky and thank my lucky star. Until you came along, I had lived oh so wrong, but that's all I knew so far. And then you threw me a line, and time after time I found it led me out of the blues. 'Cause I was drowning in quicksand until I fell in love with you. And I was drowning in quicksand until I fell in love with you.
Fell in love with
I
you.
was sinking deeper and
In a
deeper,
never-ending hole.
and there was nothing to hold on to.
Can't hold on.
And I know that I'd be a long gone man if you weren't there to pull me through.
Pulled me through.
'Cause I was drowning in quicksand until I fell in love with you. And I was drowning in quicksand until I fell in love with you.
Fell in love with you.
I was sinking deeper and deeper. There was nothing to hold on to. And I know that I'd be a long gone man if you weren't there to pull me through. 'Cause I was drowning in quicksand until I fell in love with you. Yeah, I was drowning in quicksand until I fell in love with you.
That was Quicksand by Greg Baker Everett's a cappella style, Carlos Fandango.
Well, now normally I'd say, at 4 minutes 05, this for an a cappella song would be quite long. However, the precedent has already been set many years ago with "Don't Worry, Be Happy" by Bobby McFerrin. The single version was about 3 minutes, just shy of 4 minutes, 3 minutes 50, and the album version was nearly 5 minutes. So, if something's engaging, as we've mentioned before, then the time passes quickly, and this one was just really engaging from the get-go, from the offset. It's got you hooked in because the vocals are really nicely layered. The lead vocal is really good as well, strong lead vocal. Vocally, I'm thinking a bit like Neil Hannon of I always forget their name. No, it won't come to me, not this time of night. So, but lovely chord movements in the vocals, and this layering up these vocals and getting them right all takes a lot of time, unless of course you're a really good singer. But they do take a lot of time. So that really is my main thing. I think the only other thing I can think of is as a sort of equivalent, kind of. Billy Joel did The Longest Time. And that was a sort of more or less a cappella song, really nice song as well, and that's the sort of closest thing. But we just don't hear stuff like this, and I love it. I think it's really good, really engaging.
That it is. Sorry, making a few more notes here, and so Bobby McFerrin is definitely probably the first thing that comes to mind with this song here. It is engaging. I gotta say, it's a very clever production for being the same voice, especially if it's the same person using their voice over and over and over again to put together an ultimate song. And right there, for all intents and purposes, it's just it's a very nice and very kind of like well-rounded and well produced song. The only thing with me is that I'm not really into the kind of like acapella, not acapella style music, like the High School Musical and everything like that. So, but again, it's a very clever song, very well done for what it is. So, good job. I got to say, I don't know what the commercial applications of this would be, so I'm not going to comment on that. I just think that once again, clever production and just nicely done, nicely executed. Good job.
Indeed. So that brings us on to the very sad moment of the show, which is our very last song.
Yeah, and it gets us into the thinking portion of everything also. So Byron and the Pyros with "Love Her."
So that's Byron Richard, who's uploaded it and whose Slaps account it is, who heads up Byron and the Pyros. Los Angeles, California, again, so second one from LA today. Influences include the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Nirvana, Jeff Buckley, Radiohead, Damian Rice, Rage Against the Machine, James Taylor, and Dr. Dre. So it's quite a reasonable amount of different types of artists there. And this one it's an unusual title, so it's Love Her or Lover. So it's kind of it's LOV brackets H close brackets ER. So I get the idea. It's Lover, and it's a play on words with Love Her. So, but actually to sort of spell it out is unusual, but actually it kind of works. The lyrics are written down here as well on slaps.com. People have said, I love these lyrics. They've also said, what a great song, what a track, nice rock, guitar tones are sick, not bad there boyos, not bad at all. So and nice rock quality, congrats. Oh, and also nicey hard shit. Let's see what you think.
All right, we shall see what we think here on the Underground Sound. 89 plays, 7 saves, 133 fire. By all intents and purposes, the song is doing very well on slaps. About to be the 90th play here on the Underground Sound. Once again, Byron and the Pyros with Love Her. Let's check it out.
Save the best to last.
Oh, closer. My goodness, lover. Byron and the Pyros. Carlos, Fan, Dang, go.
Yeah. I'd forgotten about that one because I thought, I think I've got my top three more or less sorted out. I think, the end song, I can't remember what it was like, but I was thinking, I'm sure it won't be in the top three because we've had some strong songs already. It's just kind of blown the competition away, really, isn't it? With that song, it's like so it's got all the sort of swagger and vibe of Muse, and I think it's the song Uprising I'm thinking of. I mean, obviously, Knights of Sidonia, the sort of general swagger of that song's in there, but that 1 minute intro, really big build up, and of course, the sort of dramatic sound and all the arpeggiators and the synths, the really strong Muse feel, but also adds a lot to the song. So it's not just a rock song; it's a rock and synth song, combining all those elements like Muse do so well. Right, ebb and flow. Okay, so we're up. That was a really good ebb and flow. So 8.5 to 9, I'd say there. Pekka is right up there, and it's a long way to go still. So shows how much ebb and flow there is because it's still going now. And great band performance, slick, top-notch production, solid composition. I'll draw everyone's attention to the comment on Slaps from The Wasting Years. It says, "Wow, just wow, blown away. This is like the first time I listened to Knights of Sidonia from Muse." In fact, that was the song that I first heard Muse and was blown away with that one. You guys are really talented. This is truly an amazing song. I'm subscribing to every account you have. That, I think, is a great reaction, and I hope our audience have much the same. The solo, the sound of the guitar solo was just the way it sort of crunched its way in as well was just wonderful. I've forgotten how good that one was. So, now the top three is going to be really difficult.
It's a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, it's over to you in the studio, Tom, on that bombshell where I can't decide what my top three is going to be. Back to you in the studio.
Oh my God.
Don't know now.
Yeah, I had my top three sorted.
Same. Yeah,
I did. And then the song comes on, and here we get the song, which is Tool, Perfect Circle, Muse, The Cure. It's 80s synth with heavy metal. So I just decided to coin this phrase right here, synth metal. Kind of sounds like Pink Floyd's Pigs. It's just going everywhere, and it's phenomenal the entire way through. This is a song where the album version, the one that we're hearing right now here, blows you away. And I'm assuming that the live version would be no different. The this is it's hard to even think about. I mean, I totally get it. I totally get what you're saying with Muse is because you have the synth effects added with the instruments, and it's a crowd pleaser. It really is. This is just one of those songs where it's midway through the album when you need to pick me up from the previous 4 or 5 songs that you've been listening to. Then this song comes on and it really revives you to listen to the rest of the album. It's just a really phenomenal song. Wow. I can't say enough good things about this song. I can't. The vocal delivery was good. The musical delivery was good. The entire setup of it was good. I'm not surprised that these stats are what they are. I've saved the song and I've left it just about as much fire as I possibly can, without creating a negative number. So it's just it worked out so nicely because 90 plays, now 8 saves with myself included, and 180 fire total. It's just do you
want me to round that up to 181?
Nope, please do not.
I like the lyrics as well. Yeah, I guess you were incapable. She was never meant to last. When lust is insatiable, Love Doesn't Stand a Chance. That's really good. I'd forgotten how good that was. That's blown me away, that one, actually. I don't know. I don't know what to say, because well, I think I know what I'm going to do for my top 3 and shout out now, but it's meant that a couple of songs that I was considering for shout out won't be shouted out now. That's really so tough.
It is very tough.
Mm.
So
that's awesome.
Now, our other task was that we were going to try to figure out what Smartmunkee's.
Well, I think he'd go fairly similar to us tonight, but Steve, originally I was thinking, maybe DARCULA because it's electronica, but I don't know. I think if your reaction was to go by, which wasn't a bad one, but it wasn't like really falling in love with the song, so I think he'd be the same, and I think it'd be sort of similar-ish. I think he would give a shout out to Luna, as it's her first song. And it's a good song, and it's quite moody. He might even put it in the top 3. I think he would put. I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm. Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Mustapha.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, I love that one.
I was just going to say the same thing. As you just really forgot about Mustapha here.
Because I was going to put that as his top one. I think he'd put Byron and the Pyros top, Mustapha second, and I think he would go for Gracies Paris, Taurwen, Reign of Death. I think he'd probably maybe go with that one for a third place, and Luna as a shout out. That's what I think Rob would do. That's my prediction. Although the Reign of Taurwen's one is a bit of an out on the limb one, because I don't know if he would go for that, but I kind of sense that's got a lot of mood and is extremely visual, so I think that he would latch onto that. So that's my prediction. So Byron and the Pyros top for Rob. Second, Mustapha, Backseat Poet, which would have probably otherwise been first for him. And then Taurwen, Reign of Death is Prophecy, with the Luna as shout out. What do you reckon?
I think personally, okay, so yeah, it's rough.
It's really difficult because I've now I've remembered the Mustapha Backseat Poet, which was originally going to be probably in my top 3. I've now got 5 in my top 3 that I can't decide between. Really tough.
Okay, so here's my prediction for Smartmunkee. Is that it would be Taurwen as a shout out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or number 3. How the hell did I just mark this?
It's awkward, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
If we get the right thing in the right place, we get 2 points next week. And if we get the right one but in the wrong place, we get 1 point.
Okay.
We'll score it like that. So Taurwen's your shout out.
No, the Smartmunkees.
Smartmunkee's shout out, right?
Yeah. So I think Taurwen would be the shout out. Oh, jeez, I just wrote this down. I have no idea. What number 3? Number 3, I think, would be Lunar with Breathe in the River. That's what it was. Number 2, I think, would be the Purple Bowl Destiny Kurayami. And number one, I think, would be.
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
I think that's the way that Smartmunkee would.
Yeah, I think that's his kind of music, isn't it, Kurayami?
Yeah.
Kurayami, I should say. Yeah. Yeah. True.
Kurayami. Yeah. Or maybe I was looking at my own here. For crying out loud.
Yeah, this is the thing I'm projecting onto his. So I'll give you. This is so hard. I could do a top 5, but I don't know if I can do a top 3. But I'm going to have to go for it, because the thing is, some of these I've already bought, and some of these I'm going to buy.
I thought you already did your top 3. Did you know?
No, that was Rob. That was my
You did
prediction for Rob.
Okay, you did Rob.
So me,
for yours.
Okay. Oh, this is tough because I like that one. I like that one a lot, and I really like that one. And okay. See, so Greg Baker was going to be in my top 3 originally, but I really also like. I'm going to give a shout out to Mustapha because I like Backseat Poet, and I am going to get it on iTunes. Number 3, Gracies Paris, Paris, Fragile. I really like that one. It's a good, really hooky song. So it really stays in your head. Number 2, which wasn't originally going to be in my top 3, was when I heard it again tonight, that Taurwen one, Reign of Death is Prophecy. I just suddenly thought, well, this is awesome. It's an awesome cinematic track, and it really hooks you in, and it's like 5 minutes solid of just gripping you and grabbing you. So that was my number 2. Number 1, Byron and the Pyros, Love Her. Just blew me away there. I've forgotten how good it was. It's fantastic. We had some strong songs tonight, really some strong songs.
Yeah, I mean, we listen. We had some strong songs on episode 45, and that one was a nightmare. But with episode 45, during the last probably 4 or 5 tracks of that episode, we kind of like fell into a lull, and not to say that the tracks were bad, they just didn't seem like they were top 3. Definitely shout out worthy, they were, but they just really didn't seem top 3. It's kind of like the phase that we fell into here, and so my shout out is going to be Taurwen with Reign of Death is Prophecy. That's my shout out. It has to be now.
So what's
it's unfortunate, but that has to be my shout out now. I'm still trying to think of.
Do you know what's thrown a bit of the spanner in the works? Is, I mean, the Purple Bowl has thrown the spanner in the works to a degree. Not for me personally, but for you two it must do, because for Rob when he comes back will be because it's sort of kind of a dark electronica type of rock track. So that Kurayami one was ticking the boxes for your kind of music, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. I loved it. I loved it. So so this is where I'm having a problem right now, is whether to place that on number 3 or number 2. Honestly, tell you the truth. Because number 3 and number 2, I still have to work on in my mind here.
And is that out to, what is it, Mustapha in there?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What have you gone for then?
Well, once again, Taurwen, Reign of Death is Prophecy. That's going to be my shout out. Very nicely done. Just here once again, before we get going with this. So, I mean, thank you to all the musicians that are actually putting out all this music, because once again, we've mentioned throughout the show that, the song may not make it into our top 3 and and so on and so forth. And we've really, kind of like done our due diligence. But all of you guys are really creating fantastic music. All of you guys are going to be on the radio station when that's up and running, which is hopefully at the time that this show airs. Not hopefully, the radio station will be up and running as this show airs, but hopefully I'll be able to get all the songs on there by that time. If not in the indie mix, then some other ways. So just once again, thank you for doing what you're doing, and just keep on pumping out that music. It really keeps this show and the radio station, for that matter, alive. So
yeah, please keep putting it out for us.
Leave comments also, folks, and tell us who you think is your top 3, your best, and just do visit the video description below. Click on the links that are provided, and throw these artists on your playlist, and do show some love. So,
and it is we must remind the audience this is just our personal preference, personal choice.
Yes,
everyone's going to have their own favorites. We do encourage you to please do engage. Put your favorites, because the artists, they love it. It's really a boost to independent artists when they see comments on their tracks. the positive comments that somebody, one person out there is listening to that track and enjoying it makes all the difference. I can tell you from personal experience, we both know it. It gives you such a boost. It's great.
Absolutely. For those of you that don't know, that all three of us here on the Underground Sound are musicians as well. So, we've gone through this kind of like, dragnet of trying to get our music out there and trying to be heard. And we are never, we try not to be as much as we can, self-indulgence and put our own music in the mix. We really do care about the underground musicians and the music that is being put out there. So, oh boy. So very, 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 very difficult choice, but I think my number 3 is going to have to be Lunar with Breathe in the River.
Good.
My number 2 is going to be Kurayami.
Yeah.
And then just because it just came out of fucking left field and just really stole the show. Not only was this a show closer, but this is the way that you would want to end a concert, and just your fans just wanting more and more and more, and you would be sitting there in your seats screaming encore, encore, encore. Is going to be Byron and the Pyros with Lover. It's just again, it was all different. It was different for me before, because we were like kind of like, oh, it's not showing up through because of the background. I'm not going to take the background now. Yeah, but originally it was going to be Mustapha with the shout out. My number 2 was still going to be Kurayama. Then Taurwen was going to be my number 3, and then my number 1 was going to be where are we at here? Lunar.
It was a good song, Lunar.
Yeah, but again,
it was going to be that was listed down as a shout out, and then I had I had DARCULA in there. I thought maybe I'd give DARCULA a shout out. And Greg Baker Everett was in my top 3 originally. Then I thought, maybe I'll give him a shout out. But then that was pushed down. Everything getting knocked down by others. It's just so difficult.
No,
that's the great thing, to know that there is really good music out there being produced. And when you look at, again, the variety that we've had on the show, a couple of rock tracks, we've had an a cappella doo-wop song, we've had an electronic song, a dark electronic sort of song, we've had a sort of acoustic ballad one, a sort of 80s slightly jazz tinged pop song, a country Christian song, and a Mustapha, left field sort of song, and a beautiful sort of well, we had a cinematic song, and also Breathe in the River, which is a lovely sort of just nice chilled vibe song. So you think, wow, what a variety of music, and all good. Everything was good.
And that's the thing with the Underground Sound here, folks, is we're trying to stay away from the mainstream, even though our radio station works but I think, in my mind, the reason why the radio station is going to work is because it's going to be the mainstream comparison, then the indie artist, and then the mainstream comparison again, and then the indie artist, and the mainstream comparison again, because we want a little bit of the mainstream in there, just so that way people will be hooked into the people that only listen to the radios for the mainstream artists. For example, if they hear the mainstream artist and then they hear the the comparison, the indie and the underground artists, then we're hoping to bring that indie and underground artist into the limelight, which is going to be evident from the We Love Rock and Roll show that Carlos Fandango and Scott Gasson had produced just last night, and I had a chance to listen to it, and it's absolutely fantastic. And if you hop onto our website right now, usundergroundsound.com, and you hit play on the radio button there, then you'll be able to hear that segment as well. And I just think that everything works fantastically, because you cannot tell the difference between the indie artists and the underground artists and the mainstream artists. You just can't. Some songs you will recognize right off the bat, obviously, but some songs you won't. But it's going to trigger your mind to think that this is where these indie and underground musicians belong. And they do. They do. So every track, nearly every track that we've heard here tonight deserves to be heard on the mainstream radio. Case in point, if you are just a rock fan and you do not like what was going on here with Byron and the Pyros, and you don't think that they should be heard on the radio, then I just don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. Sorry. I think
well, everyone's got their own taste, but I mean that is clearly, even objectively, that's a really well constructed, well produced, great song with a lot of detail in it. I mean, it's a good, really good standard, that song.
Everyone has their own taste. That is the kind of song that just needs that promotion.
Yeah.
Once it has that promotion and it actually breaks through, then nobody had even heard I would say nobody, right? But very few people had ever heard of the Prodigy in the United States before The Fat of the Land came out, and the host song to The Fat of the Land was Firestarter. And when Firestarter debuted on the airwaves, speeding tickets in the entire United States went up by 600%. Okay. Not only that, but I remember the radio stations that I would listen to at the time. They were a rock station, but they would play Firestarter, and a DJ actually got fired because the requests that were coming in is everybody wanted to hear Firestarter, and so he played Firestarter probably like 50 or 60 times in a row. They ended up firing him because they were like, "You're not sticking with the format." Well, this is what people requested, but you're fired anyway. So this is the difference here, is that before one song actually makes it and just like hits those airwaves, nobody knows about you. Then once they do, it just makes all that much difference. And I think that right now, Byron and the Pyros is just that band that really needs that kick in the ass and just needs to be on the airwaves here. So really, once again, Monkey Wrench go over here with that song at the very end, nonetheless. And it's just a fantastic piece of music. Just loved it all the way around. So again, for the musicians that are listening, is really just keep doing what you're doing, because eventually, if you want to make a living off this, it's all power of the mind. If you want to do it, you'll end up doing it. So what a just fantastic show. Man, I feel bad that Smartmunkee was not here to listen to that song firsthand. Oh, although you guys share the files between yourselves before.
Well, he would have seen the list. I think he probably has heard them. So, yep, I think we'll be able to get his opinion. Perhaps next week we'll get his top three and see who scores best. I think you'll score best because I think you've called it right. That one particularly, the Kurayami one, I think he'll like. So, yep, we can ask him next week and see what he says. So that was good, really good. Really enjoyed the music there.
Absolutely. So, really enjoyed the music. Really enjoyed the show as usual, folks. And wow! Again, what a headbanger and just lovely song to leave the show off on. We thank you for tuning in to the Underground Sound. This episode number 46. I am DJ X Tech. With me, as always, is Carlos Fandango. Missing a monkey today, but together we are putting the S back in the music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we will find the music that you love to hear.
And don't forget to click on the little tinkly bell on the icon on YouTube, so you don't miss any of the. I keep messing this bit up now, don't I? So you don't miss any of the videos that Tom uploads of the Underground Sound, and that means you will discover all this great new music whenever we do upload the new videos.
Oh, damn, Skippy, and just leaving you with one more joke.
Oh.
What's the difference between your wife and Christmas?
I think I might know the answer to this, but go on.
Well, at least Christmas comes once a year.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. And I have a really bad one. Oh dear, that's pretty bad. Okay. First man says, you shouldn't be patting a pony if you've got a sore throat. Second man says, I'm not patting a pony. I just said I was feeling a little hoarse. God, that is pretty bad.
Oh, that's horrible. What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone?
I don't know. What is the difference?
An enzyme won't moan no matter how much you pay it. With that, folks, we will say good night from the Underground Sound. Das Vidania.
And cheerio. We miss you, Ferrero, and we love you. Love you both. Bye. Yay for Rob. Come back soon.